All right, so you know how sometimes you just got to zoom in, like really get up close and personal with something? Well, today we're doing exactly that, but not with like a celebrity or a new gadget. Nope. We're going deep, deep, deep into the world of insects.
You mean those things I'm always trying to keep out of my house?
Yeah, kind of. Actually, those tiny creatures are way more important than most of us realize. We're basing this deep dive on a YouTube video, by the way, called Why Insects Are Important for Our Ecosystem. It's from the Insect channel. And let me tell you, it's packed with fascinating stuff. We're talking like life as we know it kind of stuff. Seriously.
Okay, you've got my attention. I'm always up for learning something new, even if it's about bugs.
Well, prepare to be amazed. So the video kicks off with this stat that blew my mind. Insects pollinate over 75% of the world's flowering plants.
Wow. 75%, huh?
Yeah. I mean, think about that for a second. That's like 3 out of every 4 plants that make the stuff we eat, the clothes we wear, even the flowers we stick in vases. They all rely on insects to do their thing.
I never really thought about it like that, but yeah, it makes sense. We need pollination for fruits, vegetables, nuts.
Exactly. No insects, no almonds for your morning smoothie, no coffee to wake you up. It's kind of freaky when you start thinking about it.
Totally. It's like the foundation of our food supply rests on these tiny little legs.
Okay, so besides being pollination superstars, these little guys are also like the ultimate recyclers. The video has these incredible shots of dung beetles just rolling around with their, well, dung balls.
Dung beetles. You know, I have to admit, I kind of have a soft spot for dung beetles. They're like the underdogs of the insect world, doing the dirty work that nobody else wants to do.
Right. But they're doing us a huge favor. I mean, breaking down all that waste, dead stuff, it's not glamorous, but it's vital.
It's essential for healthy soil. Think about it. All that decomposed matter gets turned into nutrients that plants need to grow, and then we eat those plants. So it's a whole cycle.
It's like a giant interconnected web with insects holding everything together.
You got it. And that connection becomes even more obvious when you think about insects as, well, food themselves.
Oh yeah, they're not just pollinators, they're on the menu too.
Right. Birds, reptiles, amphibians, some mammals. Tons of animals rely on insects for their meals. It's like the base of the food chain.
It's like a Jenga tower, and you start pulling out the bottom blocks, the whole thing's going to collapse.
Exactly. Losing insects wouldn't just mean losing a few bugs. It could trigger a domino effect of extinctions, throwing whole ecosystems off balance.
And speaking of balance, there's the whole pest control thing. You know, ladybugs, praying mantises.
Yeah.
They're like nature's own pest control squad.
Absolutely. They keep populations of harmful insects in check, naturally. Of course, we can't rely on them entirely for large-scale agriculture,
Right.
but they play a crucial role.
So it's about finding that balance, right? Using natural methods where we can, but also understanding the role of, like, chemical pesticides when needed.
Right. It's all about a balanced approach. And speaking of learning from nature, did you know that insects are inspiring all sorts of cool tech advancements?
Wait, what? Like how?
Well, scientists and engineers are always looking to nature for ideas. And insects, with their amazing adaptations and designs, offer a ton of inspiration.
Okay, give me an example.
Sure. Take dragonfly wings, for instance. Those things are incredibly efficient and maneuverable, and now engineers are studying them to design bigger drones.
Wow, seriously, like mimicking those tiny wings.
Yep. They're using biomimicry, basically taking inspiration from nature to solve human problems. And it's not just drones. We're seeing insect-inspired innovations in robotics, medicine, material science. It's pretty amazing.
So these tiny creatures are not just essential for life as we know it, but they're also helping us build the future. Pretty cool, huh?
It really is. And it highlights how interconnected everything is. We tend to think of ourselves as separate from nature, but we're really not. We depend on it in so many ways, even if we don't always realize it.
Right, so just to recap, insects are vital for pollination. They keep our soil healthy. They're a food source for tons of animals. They help control pests naturally, and they're inspiring all sorts of cool new technologies. That's a pretty impressive list of accomplishments for something most of us swat at without a second thought.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If insects were to vanish, what would be the biggest impact on your life? Your food, your environment, the technology you use? It's a fascinating question to consider.
Absolutely. And on that note, we encourage you to take a closer look at the insects around you. Learn about them, appreciate them, and think about what you can do to protect them. Because in the end, protecting them means protecting ourselves.
Vol said.
And that, my friends, is a wrap on this deep dive into the world of insects. Until next time, stay curious.